Yes, people, we're back again, yeah? United in the Tropics podcast. Me and my guy CM. What you saying, bro?
Bless, man. Another week. Not a lot of football, but it's another week, man.
Yeah, with the football thing here it's a
Sticky
sticky
one
one
still.
still. It's that type of week, fam. It's that type of week.
Mhm.
But I know you haters out there saying, soon as they start the podcast, United lose. No. Technically, we have 100% record in the Prem, fam. Since we started this, we ain't lost in the Prem, fam. The Europa League thing, that was let's just say that was a little hiccup still, yeah? A little hiccup, so that ain't got nothing to do with us, fam. Nothing to do with us, fam. We had 100% record in the Prem. Don't get on to us, fam. We doing our thing, fam. But what you saying, CM? You good, bro?
Yeah, man. It's been a weird week, to be honest, preparing for Man United, and then no Man United games for the next 2 weeks. Palace postponed. Leeds now postponed. Our next one after the international break against it's the Manchester Derby.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
bro.
So, talk about a lack of preparation.
So we basically have a month with nothing.
Yeah.
A month with Europa League, yeah. But come on, bro, come on. Yo, big up the people in the chat still. David Lee, Paxton, big up people, big up, man. Respect and appreciate you, man, coming through every time to support the thing, man. Love for that. We want to talk about these contracts, yeah. What you saying, bro? These contracts that the club are starting to initiate and hand out, fam. What you saying, bro?
Well, yeah, well, basically the situation is we've got a bunch of players whose contracts end in 2023, so that'll be the end of this season. And a few of them have an option for a further year that the club can take them up on. So the likes of David De Gea, Diogo Dalot, Luke Shaw, Fred, and Marcus Rashford, notably, all of their contracts end in 2023. Martin Dubravka has an option to buy. He's on loan from Newcastle. Phil Jones has an option for a further year. Same with Tom Heaton and Alejandro Garnacho and Axel Twanzebe's contracts. They both end in 2023, but they don't have an option for a further year. So they would just have to be extended straight up with a new contract. So it's a situation where we look at a few of these players. And probably the question I would ask to you guys is, out of those guys, who would you keep? Out of the De Gea, Dalot, Luke Shaw, Fred, and Marcus Rashford, we can really start on them right now.
Me personally, yeah, I can't even lie to you. You see that, brother, none of these men ain't getting no contracts, fam. I'll be honest with you. All these men been here through all the BS, through all the dung tools, through all the not trying, through all the not putting in the extra work, through all this shit. And some of them are just overpaid, bro. So let's think about we really trying to give these man contracts now. If we try to give these man contracts now, it's no way we get them to take less money. It's no way. Because they done used to getting 200 plus. You ain't coming to give these man I'll give you 175 now because recession and depression and performance. Nah, these men ain't trying to hear that, fam. They will go somewhere else and get a sign-on bonus. Me personally, I'm giving you contracts with incentives. If you want to make this amount of money, big man, okay, you have to accomplish certain things on the pitch. I don't care about the off the pitch where you writing all these essays and paragraphs and things. Only your thumb's working. Nah, less of that. I want you to perform on the pitch, big man. You're going to have to go there, score this amount of goals, get this amount of assists, probably get into the team of the season, something, prove yourself, so you're worth this. So I know I'm not just spending money on dumb shit. Like Luke Shaw, come on, bro. What are we giving Luke Shaw a new contract for? This shit don't make no sense. What are we giving this brother a contract for? Rashford, he's 24. Okay, if you want a contract, brother, you getting that 1 year option. That's all you getting. I'm giving you the 1 year option.
You know what the thing is with these guys, a lot of the time, we have to blame the club in the end of the day for the contracts that these guys have been on. I think for right now, the 5 players that we've named, unfortunately, big up Emil in the cut. Unfortunately, at some point of time, we're going to lose money on them. But to let them go on a free is almost like a punch in the face in the end of the day. because you've made that investment, and whether people like it or not, Marcus Rashford has given us value, and he can give us value this season if we get the right version of Marcus Rashford. So can Fred. The Low has had a great start to the season so far. Long may it continue. And David De Gea, obviously, a lot of people have conflicting opinions of him. He's a shot stopper at his best. He's never been somebody who's been able to distribute the ball and play at the back. And I think maybe a lot of people have come to the agreement that eventually that situation with the goalkeeper will have to be sorted out. But for now, that's not the main issue. So once again, you're going to have to want to keep those sort of personnel just so that the squad doesn't get even more weaker, because we lost a few guys already through this season in the summer, free agency, the likes of Pogba, Matic, Mata, etc. So the way I'm looking at it is you can trigger their extra year. They will give you something if all goes well. And maybe the season after that, when you have an opportunity to bring in more players, then you can make a decision on whether you want to keep or sell. But it's a sticky situation letting guys walk when you don't know if you're going to be able to get those replacements in guaranteed, especially with the board that we have.
Well, where I stand on it, I was like, and see people like Shaw, Rashford are giving Rashford a 1-year extension. And within that 1-year extension, I'm trying to look for him, see if I could get somewhere to ship him off to, where you could still get a little value on it. And no, this is where we have to trust the recruitment team, because you need to replace it. You can't just sell him and say, oh yeah, we made this amount of money because he came to the youth academy, so we made a profit. No, you need to look to replace it. Well, not just with someone of his level, someone a little better. Much better, I should say, not a little better, much better to do a job for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People like Luke Shaw, brother, we need to be trying to sell that guy, bro. Luke Shaw is not a guy that stays fit. He always have fitness struggles, and then he don't. Oh. Luke Shaw gave us what? 5 months? 5 months in all this time he's been here. And on top of that, before he got injured, I'm not lying. Before he got injured, Luke Shaw was actually doing decent. He was doing decent. And I remember how he got injured. He got injured in Champions League under Van Gaal against PSV. I remember the exact game how he got injured. Got his leg broken, break. And since that, he ain't been doing the job, the business, big man. So
I mean that's the thing, isn't it? We with the option of the extra year that will bring him to 2024. Luke Shaw, a player like Luke Shaw, would have been here for a decade, and 10 years at a club is a very long time for the performances that he has given us, which is not on a consistent basis, kind of like a lot of these players in the team as a whole. So definitely for me, if I'm looking at a guy like Luke Shaw, we need to look for a replacement, because we've got Malacia, but we're going to need a backup to that. And Luke Shaw clearly isn't going to be that long-term solution. He's at 27 years old. You sign him to a new contract after that year. He's probably going to want 3 years, bringing him into his 30s, where he's probably not going to improve from what we've seen so far in his inconsistent Man United career. Fred, he's kind of half and half for me, because I don't think he's going to thrive long term in this system. Of course, he's given us good, but how do we categorize those Fred moments? He's way too inconsistent for me. But once again, he's going to have to be here for a little while before we replace him. And Marcus Rashford, that's another one that conflicts, because with him, we've seen the good of Marcus Rashford. We've also seen the moments where he's trudged on with injuries, played very badly. He's lost his confidence, continued to play poorly as well. But we know what Marcus Rashford can do when he is confident. The problem is, can he be confident going forward? Can he play injury-free going forward? And of course, that isn't just on the player, that's on the coaches, the coaching staff, and also the depth and the rotations that we have within this whole squad to make sure that players are not sustaining injuries and they don't have to play through injuries. But there are so many questions to be asked of these players. And, it's up to Ten Hag, the recruitment team, and the club as a whole to make those tough decisions. Will they make the right ones?
To be fair, Cheetah, what do you say if Luke Shaw was any good? Luke Shaw, when we had Van Gaal, before he got his injury, Luke Shaw was actually playing decent then. I understand agendas. I understand he's not good enough for the team right now. I understand all of that. But under Van Gaal, we was in the Champions League, bro. Before he got his leg broken, Luke Shaw was actually looking like the player we signed.
Mm.
He was actually playing proper football then. Even though we know Van Gaal told him that, yo, you need to keep yourself fit and you're getting overweight and all them things. You understand? Van Gaal told him that, but that's where he was playing his best football to me. He was playing his best football. Other than that, I can't see nothing with this brother. Like, I see Peter saying that he was ranked as England best left back not too long ago. Bro, playing for your country and performing and playing for your club where you be playing majority of your games is two different things. Playing for your country in a cup tournament where you just play a few games is one thing, but when you play for your club, where you have to play 38 plus games, and for out of that 38 games, you might get 8 decent performance, that's not good enough. That's not good for the entire season. If you want to be rated as a top player, that's not good enough. For a whole season, we're just rating you on, 8 games, 5 games? That's not good. That is not good.
Yeah, man.
It's not good at all. Oh, damn. Yeah, the thing is about this, Paxton, is replacing these people. We could all see that there's players in the club that needs to go, but replacing them is not as easy as. It's not that easy. It's really not that easy because we all know our recruitment staff. These people are shit at what they do, fam. They stink. If you just start applying pressure, they start panicking, they start fumbling, they wait until almost to the end of the window, and they just go do a mad thing and spend money on someone that really wasn't needed.
And that's why it's
this is what I'm talking about here, Chino. This is what I'm talking about. He was decent. He wasn't tearing up no trees and doing a mad thing, but he was decent. That's it. I ain't trying to jump on this bandwagon and say this guy is no big. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he ain't that. This brother. It's crustacean, bro.
Man, say walking up by the lorry. Nah, man.
It's crustacean, fam. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Big up the crowd still, yeah, my guy. Follow him on Twitch, people. All socials. Goalkeeper situation. The goalkeeper thing, yeah. I'll be honest with you, yeah. When I sit down and study this, right? Is Dubravka any much better, I should say, than Tom Heaton?
I think he's better than Tom Heaton just because he's it's a tough one, isn't it? Because I didn't really rate him that much when he was at Newcastle, to be fair, Dubravka. So and Tom Heaton was a decent keeper. I would put him in the category of being a decent goalkeeper. That's it. And so maybe that's where he fits in.
So basically we put the two of them in the same category.
Honestly, maybe you could put Tom Heaton a little below because he is a little older now, hasn't played a lot consistently, and isn't really at the stage of his career where he's performing at a level he once was. But for me, I'm looking at Dubravka. At best, he's going to be a backup.
I don't understand that deal at all. You know, we took this guy on a loan with the option to buy. Yeah, it's an option, so that means we don't necessarily have to buy this brother, but. This just don't make no sense to me, bro. If you're trying to do something going a certain direction because your manager want to play a certain way, is this the type of signing you really want to be making?
Well, it's a strange one because I didn't understand the signing either. I think some people were basically saying, well, Tom Heaton's not good enough, so we're going to need Dubravka to play in certain situations for rotation. David De Gea started the first Europa League game. I don't know if Dubravka's going to play against Sheriff, but we'll see. But surely if you're going to sign a backup keeper, he's going to be involved in the likes of cup competitions and stuff like that, rather than just being an emergency option if David De Gea gets injured.
But the thing is, though, is Dubravka any decent with his foot, like passing the ball out from the back, being brave, coming out and doing all these things? Because we know we all know what De Gea weakness is. It's clear to see. Everyone can see what his weaknesses are. But if we really trying to get these upgrades to play a certain way, shouldn't we like bring in a goalkeeper that's all right? Let's say younger, because we know where the high is going. He's not going to be getting better. So we know where his direction is going. So shouldn't we be bringing in a goalkeeper that's probably young, promising, that you could see that, in a few years' time, he could probably take over and he could be number one, because that's why a lot of these United fans are saying, Henderson is the guy. I don't know about that, fam. I really don't know about this Henderson being the guy thing. Brother.
I definitely think that the Bravka's not really going to be the guy that's going to replace or play in the first team. For me, that was more of a kind of stopgap, scenario where you needed a backup keeper just in case, and you had the opportunity there, so you got him, had an opportunity to get another, loanee / signing over the line, so you did it before the window ends. For me, it's nothing more than a stopgap signing, to be honest.
I don't know. Sometimes supporting your club, back in the day when you used to support your club and you didn't have these obligations, thinking like, who we gonna sign, or who we gonna bring in, or what we're gonna do, because at that time, your club, when you support your club, it's like all you need to do is come on match day and that's my team and all that shit there. And now it's like we just got deeper into the football thing. We're studying who we sign and what we're doing. If we're doing things for the future, that's because you understand the football a little more, and you're realizing that if you don't put things in place the proper way, like have a strong foundation, it's just going to collapse, bro. It's just going to collapse. So we could bring in the best managers, but don't support these people or don't back them or give them the right tools. What are they going to do?
And that's why a lot of the time we can't get fully optimistic. When Ten Hag comes in, there's not full optimism for the new era, because we know deep down, okay, you've replaced guys like John Myrtle, who could be behind the scenes still just in a silent role, but in the end of the day, you're replacing them with guys that are basically virtually the same, no experience in that position. I have to double down on this. It is so crucial to get something right from the start, set the tone. And Manchester United failed to do that time and time again by employing people with no experience, with no acumen in that position. You need to be able to bring in the best in class, to bring in people who see eye to eye with the manager, with the people below them and above them. But that's the problem. Manchester United have never operated like that. They have never seemed to operate in a way where they look at the footballing departments and say, you know what, we need to make sure that this is running consistently at a high level. It's never been that.
It comes back to the foundation, isn't it? No solid foundation. It's like people building their house. Some people build their house on, let's say, sand. Some people build their house on rock. Which house is going to stand up? I guarantee the one on the sand ain't going to stand. I guarantee it's ain't going to stand. Rainfall a couple of times. What's going on, bro? Your house start moving a little bit. It's a smoking bookie.
Bro, it's like building a house with the plan upside down, and all of a sudden you got your garage on the top floor.
Exactly. And then you're trying to figure out, you just bought a brand new Mercedes-Benz, how to get it up there. How to get it up there, bro? United is just mixed up, and these man don't know what they're doing. That's why most fans been begging for time. We need to get proper football people in, bro, because come on, man, these men just making business decisions, but not footballing decisions. I understand you want to make money and all this. Yeah, I can't be mad at you, because the money these men are used to making, they want to keep making that. You can only keep making that if your club is being successful. There's only so long your club is going to be writing on the name of, we're Manchester United. There's only so long you could write that for, bro. Yep. Other clubs are coming up, and the name might not be as big as Manchester United, but they're winning stuff. If they keep winning stuff, the name is going to get there at some point in time, and all the younger fans coming up in the world is like, yo, Manchester, what? Who the hell are they? They don't win nothing. You know what I'm saying?
There's only a certain time when you can keep on saying, Manchester City have no fans or they're still in our shadow, bro. Because when you look at it 5 years down the line, Manchester City win a few more Premier Leagues, possibly could even win a Champions League title, fam.
Oh, God
It's already
forbid
turning,
that
bro.
one.
It's
Jesus
already
Christ.
turning. And that's why I'm saying, if you're a club like us, yeah, and you may be an elite business club, but if you don't have the football intelligence to go with that, what is the point? What is the point? It's Manchester United Football Club for a reason, not Manchester United Business Club. You know what I mean?
Let's be honest. If Man City ever wins a Champions League, it's a sad day, yeah. It's gonna be a sad day because all this, we're a big club thing, that's gonna be questioned heavily. Yes, we're still gonna be a big club. Don't get me wrong, but that's gonna be questioned heavily, fam. You're a big club, and allowing that happened.
You know, for me though, it's a thing
Look
that
at this pagan.
it's a thing you have to accept them. You know what I mean? Like for me, seeing teams like Liverpool, Manchester City be successful year in, year out, it's a situation where it is what it is. Because Manchester United have not put themselves in the position to be able to affect that or challenge for those titles that your Liverpools and Cities are fighting for. So you can't even be mad on those situations because you're looking at clubs that are being dealt with or have been dealt with in the past few years, at least in the right way. They have the people in the position to perform on the football pitch, whereas we're far away from that. So we can only look at ourselves in the situation that we're in right now, where we've got a new manager, got the same owners, and got people in the board who we're not assured of yet and haven't really performed well over their first full transfer window. So now we're going to have to hope that over time things change consistently and we move in the right direction. But we also have to stay vocal on the fact that the Glazers have had 17 years at this club, and even though they've rid the success of the Sir Alex Ferguson era, that era ended in 2013, and since then we have been falling lower and lower and lower down in expectations, falling down in a 6-foot ditch. We David Moyes had 7 months. Then we moved to Van Gaal. He got sacked after he won the FA Cup. In the end of the day, his playing style wasn't, enjoyed throughout the fan base. Then we went to Mourinho. In the end, that ended because he just lost the backings of the players and everybody else within the club, including the fans. Then we went to Ole. We know how that ended. Short stint with Ralph Ragnick, and now we're with Eric Ten Hag. How many managers deep? And there's only one constant, which is the ownership. Those are the people who make the final decisions. There are, of course, people in the club who make decisions and suggest, but those are the people who make the final decisions. And time and time again, those final decisions have ended up in flames.
You know what? So basically, we are the Movado settings, hope and pray thing, yeah?
Yeah.
But I see what Paxton is saying here. But Paxton, get this, though. 5 years of waiting for us to get back serious if we get new owners now. To me personally, that's short-term pain for long-term gain, bro. I'll take that, bro. That is short-term pain for long-term gain. That's how I always see it. I know people talking about, oh, we need to win this and we need to win. Bro, I don't care about that, fam. Short-term pain, get these man out, fam, and we get long-term gain. We back to being, all right, I don't want to say, because we was never the best club in the world, fam. The best club in the world would have been dominated the Champions League and all that for a time. We was a really big club. In the world. It was a really big club in the world. And I think if we get new owners now, even if it takes us 5 years to get back to challenging, and I'm not just talking about challenging for the league alone, challenging for the league and the Champions League, we upgrade our stadium and all these kind of stuff. Bro, it's worth it. It's worth the wait, fam, because look how long it's been now. We ain't nowhere close to winning something.
But that's it. We also can't fall under everything's gonna happen overnight. Same with this ownership. Even if somebody would be in there to take over the club, it's going to take a long time.
It is going to take a long time. It is going to take a long time because, all right, let's just say we have to get new players. We have to upgrade stadium, training facilities, and all that type of stuff. Backroom staff, recruitment have to get right. All this, right? Let's say all that have to get in position. So let's really say, yeah, it's 5 years, right? That's 5 years. So after this 5 years now, we talking about we're in a position now that we could really put a good, strong run towards the title. After this now, obviously, if you have a good, strong enough team that you can push a run towards the title, I think you could compete in the Champions League. At least that's my opinion. That's my opinion. If you could have a good run towards the title, you could compete in the Champions League. I'm not saying we're going to win it, but you can compete in it. But all these things we're talking about here that needs to be put in place needs to be in place. We don't want to have a team that, oh, well, we just suited the knockouts, so we just good at trying to compete in the Champions League. But when it comes to sustain playing over a long period of time for the whole season, we can't do it because the squad is not big enough. Come on, man. Everything comes back to what we keep saying, that the foundation needs to be right. It needs to be sorted from the beginning, from the get-go. If it's not sorted, bro, what we doing? What we doing? Let's see what people say. They really say he could be 71.
Man.
Oh, fan base is desperate for success. Yeah. See, that is true, you know. The desperate for success, they want the success, but you want the success in terms of just to say, oh, I'm a fan and we won. That's all I care about. We won this. But then the Glazers said, oh, you won this under me, so why do I have to leave? Why can't I just stay? You get what I'm saying? It's like a two-edged sword, fam. It's like a two-edged sword. They give you this, and then they slap you with this. It's like you can't win. Even when you win, you can't win. Even when you win, you can't win with these people. Even when you win, you can't win with these people. Scientists thinking, get out of here, fam. These Barcelona pagans, you know. I hope Bayern Munich slap them up, you know. These pagans, bro. Yo, people, you know, usually what we do at the halfway point in the show, you man them free to get in. Anyone wants to come in and have their say, you know. You're free to jump in and have your say still.
What are you saying about, how are you feeling about, obviously, the Crystal Palace was postponed on the weekend, and now Leeds United is postponed? Online, there have been a lot of reactions, people kind of criticizing the decision and stuff like that. Me personally, I understand why Leeds was postponed. You can question why the games last week in the Premier League were postponed. Obviously, we all know the passing away of Queen Elizabeth II. We can understand that situation and be completely respectful towards everybody involved, including the royal family and everybody that's been affected. So possibly you can question why the Premier League chose to postpone last week, knowing that maybe that would have been the same situation 2 weeks in a row. Not anything to do with the passing of Queen Elizabeth again, but just for the Premier League's sake and the scheduling that's going to come after the World Cup and before it. But for me, I looked at the Leeds situation and I said, like we kind of spoke about before the show went on air, Leeds United versus Manchester United is a massive rivalry that goes back years and years and years. We all know what can happen, especially at Old Trafford, big stadium. There's going to be an increased police presence needed there. And that just won't be the case with, obviously, certain police having to be deployed for the funeral. Of course, that's taking place on Monday, just for the preparations and stuff like that to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So in that regard, I completely understand why this game was postponed.
I agree with you.
But yeah, there were people who were kind of criticizing it and saying certain things. And in the end of the day, the people that I feel sorry for are the people that, you know, for example, are coming from abroad, paid big money, to come and see Manchester United,
Yeah.
pay for hotels, hospitality, and stuff like that, or even the people in the country who have, still paid money to get to Manchester, and they've had to do all of this stuff and plan in advance, because we know what kind of times are happening, especially in England, around the world, really, with the cost of living really going up and stuff like that. You really have to plan for these situations in advance if you don't have it to you. So those are the true people you feel sorry for in those situations. And hopefully all of that can get resolved, whether that be them getting refunds or, having the opportunity to go to the game when it is rescheduled. That is what we can hope for. But yeah, I do understand.
I personally agree with what you just said there. I agree with that. And what Paxton is saying here as well, I agree with that as well, because it's going to be a security thing and they won't want to risk that. I understand that. I agree with that personally with our game against Leeds being postponed. But in terms of people that travel from abroad or put things in place to come to the game and then something like this happen, obviously it's not their fault. It's not the club fault. It's no one's fault that, but I think the club should at least, think about your fan base. People come from all over the world to come see the club play. At least you could do is either you refund them, or if you don't want to refund them, you give them the game, any game. They can come to any game, and the ticket is valid for a game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
or even a
that's
situation where when the game's rescheduled, it's a sticky one, isn't it? But
you don't even
if
know
you
when
can
that's
come,
going to be rescheduled too, because I remember Ollie, the season before Ollie got sacked, right? Our last 5 fixtures of that season was a Mazzoline, fam. We had 5 games in 10 days.
Man.
We had 5 games in 10 days, bro. I remember we played Wolves, we played Europa League. We played everything in that. We was rotating all type of mad squads.
Yes, mad. And we all know, obviously, the season that led to the infamous final, and that one was a sticky one.
Yeah.
We were starting to see cracks even from there in terms of the performances just dipping down significantly. The schedule after the World Cup is going to be an insane schedule, and that is why you need a big team, especially for this season.
See, that's what I'm thinking about right now. So where are they going to put these games? Because it's international duty coming up after this week of fixtures. So after that, I don't think they have. I think they have another one before the World Cup still.
For real?
Do they have another one?
Man, that would be completely unnecessary.
I think they have one more before the World Cup. I could be wrong, but I think they have one more before the World Cup.
Because I believe it's starting back in October after this international break, and then the World Cup will begin in early November. So,
yeah. Bro, so when we do this, right, how are they fitting in these games? How are they fitting in these games, bro? So, because you don't want these games to be when you're in the business end of the season and it's yo, we in some proper form now, and then all of a sudden you put this random game in there now. That's a spoke in your wheel now. You have to adjust your squad, or you have to rotate or do some type of madness. You could get injuries, you could get all these type of stuff. That could derail a season from going in the proper direction because of a situation like these. Yeah, because we know how the Premier League operate when they have to replace games, bro. Reschedule games. There's they don't care. They just give you the games and tell you figure it out, big man.
It's something we'll have to deal with, and yeah, that's that. I think it's definitely with the World Cup being at a weird time, the team and the club should have been prepared for something like this. Obviously not, this is unprecedented. You don't expect, a massive event like this to happen, but in terms of fixtures being thrown out of the window and schedules being a bit abnormal because of this World Cup, they should have definitely have been prepared for that, because players are going to come back tired from the World Cup, then they're going to resume straight away, literally back into the season. So it's going to be a grueling one.
It's just going to be so difficult, though, to deal with, bro, because you're going to have. We're already playing Thursday, Sunday. Just let that sink in. We're playing Thursday, Sunday. When are you going to put these games in? let's just say we got further in Europa League. We're already playing Thursday, Sunday. When is these games going to be played, bro? And we have FA Cup coming up, Carabao Cup coming up. When is these games going to be played, bro?
I can't even see it, man. But that's it's gonna be a sticky one still. We need to be prepared this season for a few minutes. It's peak, man.
They will have to. They're going to have to, bro. They are going to have to.
Like what thing you say in the Tuesdays will only be the open option, depending on, of course, how long we stay in certain tournaments. Those Tuesdays, and that means from Sunday, whatever, a day's break basically, and then we'll get back into it, and then, but that's it.
Yeah, but what we're saying, Peter, is if you look at our squad, right? If you look at our squad right now, we have to play Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday.
With some of these guys' injury history. I mean, Anthony Martial, he's got injured twice now, and I don't even. He hasn't really touched the Premier League. He's only played 45 minutes in the Premier League.
That's a Liverpool game, isn't it?
Yeah, in the second half, probably not even 45. I think he came on a little after that. He had a short cameo. So we've got a lot of injury-prone guys in there, as it is guys that have suffered a lot of injuries throughout their United career in the past few years due to mistreatment. So, yeah.
Let's just say it's not going to be looking good. It's not going to be looking good for us in that day. Yeah. Even Arsenal, but shit, we didn't really care about that man. We want that man to be screwed, fam. We want them to be screwed in every aspect of the game, fam. But if you pay attention to what happened to us in the Europa League just the other day, Peter, notice our manager took a chance and rotate, and you saw the performance. So with these amount of games here, do we really want to see our team being rotated, though, Peter? What are you saying to that? Do you really want to see that team being rotated? Because look at the performance we had against Real Sociedad. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from them. They're a good team. But look at the performance we put. That was shocking.
But you know what the thing is? The thing we can look at is it was one game, and whether we like it or not, we're gonna have to use guys like Ronaldo. Obviously guys like Casemiro are gonna be warmed into the team, and they'll get better as the season goes by. But we're going to have to use our squad from the first to the very last man in that team. It has to happen, because there's no way we can go through the season fielding the same or similar teams. Guys are gonna get gassed out. Guys are gonna get injured.
Bro, we saw in the not the Europa League game. Which game that Ronaldo played before the Europa League game? Which game was that? Who we played? Who was it? Who was it, bro? Whoever we played, right? We saw him. He came off the bench and he made one little sprint, and the guy looked like he was going to die, fam. So
it was it wasn't an Arsenal game, was it?
Could be the Arsenal game,
Yeah. Oh, I know David Lee. Yeah, he was mocking it against Leicester. You were saying,
it's a Leicester game.
Evans.
It's a Leicester
Johnny
game
Evans,
with Johnny Evans, fam. He looked like he was going to die.
Yeah, but
what make up yourself, brush. What are you saying, my guy?
Yo, what's happening, guys? What's up?
Good. It was good. We talking about all these, how the rescheduling of the games, how it's going to fit in, and because you see our squad rotating our squad is not really a safe thing to do right now, based on what the team and how it is situated right now. If we rotate, it's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that against Sociedad, right? It's absolutely dead. With what we're trying to build and what Ten Hag's trying to do, he's just about getting it together with the first 11, and then with the backups, we know that it's not going to work.
It's not. It's really ain't, bro. Because
Mm.
it's clear to see as well. It's clear to see.
And I'll tell you what, that's the one blessing in disguise with these fixture postponements. Like initially, I would have said, you know what, we should probably play the reserves against Sheriff, but now we've got no excuse. We should just go all out and play the first team.
Full team, yeah, the full first team. Bring
Yeah.
them on, bro. Because once no one, hopefully no one gets injured. Knock on wood, no one gets injured. Cool, but play the first. Don't say Phil Jones. Don't do that. Nah.
I mean, it might happen, bro. It might happen.
Imagine 2023 and we still playing Phil Jones.
The other thing as well, guys, is that you know, Sheriff are no joke, man. They did over Real Madrid last season. They played well against Inter Milan. We can't take them lightly.
Yeah, I think the thing for us now.
Go on.
That people probably a good question. Do you think that now we're not going to play a Premier League game until October? Are we going to field a full strength side or a near full strength side against Sheriff to try and get that victory?
For me, it has to be. It has to be a full strength side, especially with such a big game, with big gap before the next game.
I say go full strength as well because we have a lot of time to rest, recuperate, and all this. And I see what you're saying there, Peter, but that we lost in a pen. But if you look at our performance,
and you know what?
we did nothing.
I'd even go as far as to say we might need to sort out a friendly in the meantime because that's too much of a gap.
Yeah, they might get. This is things that they're probably doing behind closed doors.
20 plus days is too much, man. We're gonna have to sort out some friendly matches or something.
Keep fitness and all that.
Yeah, keep all that going and the momentum.
All who is coming back from injuries, they're gonna need some games. So
I don't know if you guys touched on this already, but I mean, I don't know why they couldn't rearrange it so that we play the Palace game this weekend instead.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I understand why they put off the Leeds game.
I can totally understand because the police thing, that is a big issue. It is one of those, you know, it's a big derby. You need to account for that. You don't want to go into that and not have the staff to deal with it. But usually at Palace, it's not that bad. Surely it would have taken less police and stuff to get that done, and it would have made sense for me because the Palace game with Brighton's called off as well due to rail strikes and things. So it would have been convenient to fit that one in this weekend, if you ask me.
So they postponed more games then.
And you already know my thoughts on this international break, really. Even before this stuff happened.
In the bin, man.
Yeah, even before this stuff happened that we couldn't account for, I felt that we probably should have scrapped the internationals this year just because of the amount of games we've got coming up. I mean, there's absolutely no due care and attention for the health and safety of the players. There's
a whole World Cup coming up, bro. You still need to play these nonsense internationals, bro. World Cup, people already qualified for the World Cup. No need to play no damn international bullshit.
Nope.
Bro, that thing is a no. As soon as your team starts getting a little momentum, a little in the groove, you bring these international nonsense. Where the players have to play, I said, extra minutes. They could go out there, get injured, and all this, and then come back to your club now. Your club's struggling. I understand wanting to represent the country. Don't get me wrong. I ain't saying don't represent the country. I understand that,
but obviously it's it's you need to look at the circumstances, man. This is unprecedented. We've not had a Winter World Cup before. They've torn up the entire European footballing calendar for this. So yeah, I think they could have made some adjustments and done away with this round of friendlies.
I mean, I understand people say the players they get paid big money, so they should not be complaining.
But they get paid by their clubs, not by their nations.
Yeah, they get paid money, but bro, running them into the ground is not the way, fam. It's not the way, fam. Because then you're gonna have them playing mediocre performance. They won't be trying as much, bro. They'll just be because they're tired now. You have to travel.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Really, we saw it. We saw it in the summer, bro. Do you remember that as soon as the season finished, like the next week, there was internationals, and England was so dead. Didn't we get pumped like 4-0? Yeah, you could tell. You could tell the players weren't bothered.
So that's why I have a problem with all these trying to fit these nonsense internationals in for no reason.
Same.
So is your next competitive game versus Man City?
Have we touched on Martial's comments?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our next competitive game is Prem game, I should say, is going to be against Man City, the derby. So we playing this Thursday. Well, in this week, yeah, we playing, and then we have no games until.
And that's crazy to
Man
me
City.
because you really needed momentum going into that game.
I think that's a madness, bro.
It's mad,
like these
bro.
man trying to sabotage us, fam.
Yeah.
No games for 2 weeks after this Europa League game,
Yeah.
and then Man City.
Exactly, it's a madness.
Because think about it, after Thursday and the weekend, but not even the weekend. After Thursday, some of our players will be going to international duty right away. Because international duty is going to be during the weeks. So where are we getting time to put in this friendly though, Brush? If we really think about it.
Yes.
Because time they come back, they're going to come back like what, probably a day or two before the next game.
I think we'd have to maybe organize it, see who's left behind, who's not on internationals.
Whoever is not, they will
have to. Because those players need to stay fit, right? So you'd have to organize something, man. Maybe it'll be a friendly within just the squad, innit? Maybe it's too difficult to organize it with another team. Maybe they'll just have to play each other.
Our Thursday game is not cancelled. The Arsenal one is cancelled, I think, but not ours. We still play Sheriff. That game is still on. Well, at least at this point in time, it's still on. It's about the money, nothing for the players. Yeah, for real, Nick. It's a disgrace and an utter disgrace. Yeah, has the English squad been released for the I can't tell you, bro. I don't know.
No,
I really
I don't think so. But I mean, knowing Southgate, he likes his favourites, doesn't he? So I presume it'll
probably
be
the same
to what
people.
we've seen. Yeah. I'm sure Rashford will be back in.
Last 10 minutes of the show, so we could get into these Martial comments. What's your take on it, Brush?
Have you got the quotes in front of you? Did you want to break it down bit by bit, or?
No, see, you got them. I ain't got the quotes. Usually, CM got these things.
Let me see. Well, basically, I don't think I have the direct quotes, but the things he touched on,
we all know what he said.
The errors of Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It started with Mourinho and how he criticized Mourinho for taking the number 9 shirt away from him, which obviously was given to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and Martial was forced to wear the number 11 shirt. He slammed Mourinho for talking about Martial in the press, accusing him of just all the quote and foolishness. You know what Mourinho does, criticizing players in the press to kind of try and get a reaction out of them. But Martial was basically complaining about those situations and how he was lied to in the Ole era in terms of stuff like that. And this is not the first time we've heard these kind of things. Obviously, Bailly spoke out a few weeks ago about those 2 errors as well. It seems like a lot of guys have complaints with the way the club was run within that time period of Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, whether it be players being lied to about playing time, being mistreated, just feeling a certain way. Dean Henderson spoke out at the start of the season because he wasn't given game time that he was promised. Yeah, he wasn't. The bargain wasn't kept on Ole's side. The way I feel about this is, for me, it's been obvious that the camp has lacked togetherness. There have been players within the camp that have been unhappy within the last few years, especially with those 2 managers and how it ended on both separate occasions. The problem is we're seeing these players speak out, and it's a reflection of how the club has been run as a whole. So you look at the people at the top, obviously the managers, the board, and all of that stuff there. We've become a club that struggled to keep things in-house, to keep solutions in-house. It's always resorted to the public being in the know and understanding every single minor detail of the situation.
It never used to be the way when Fergie was here, see?
Exactly.
It comes down to a lack of structure. Lack of coherent structure is what it is. For me, I mean, I kind of understand both sides, man. There was those that questioned why now, but I don't know exactly when this interview took place. In terms of what he was saying, I don't think Tony said anything too wrong. I think he was just breaking down how he felt at each stage that things were happening at. Now, do I care to hear it? I don't know, because, you know, like you say, I prefer these things to be in-house, but obviously we live in a different day and era now where everyone has an opinion. I'm not going to go in on him for how he felt, because that's how he felt, in it. That's his opinion. Like, how can I dispute how he felt about the situation? The only thing I will say, there was one comment that he made about playing through injury, and that, well, in regards to that, I think you need to take responsibility as a player. Like, if you felt injured, you know, you are under no obligation to just play. Like, if you felt that strongly about it, you should have told management. You should have told the medical team, listen, this isn't good for me. This isn't good for my career. I need to take responsibility and sit out. If you choose to make those sacrifices and play, you can't complain about it.
True.
Yeah.
As you said, structure, this what me and CM was saying earlier on. It's like building a house on sand versus someone build a house on rocks. The one on the sand, it's not gonna last, bro. It's not gonna
the
last.
foundations are on quicksand, bro. That's the problem.
If you don't have a solid foundation, brother, you ain't doing nothing, bro. And that's what United doing under the Glazers. It's nothing solid. It's not sustainable.
And some of what you're saying, absolutely, you were messed about. But guess what? That's a part and parcel of football. When new managers come in, they have their own ideas. They bring in their own guys. You can't complain about that. You have to just get on with it. Obviously, he mentioned as well that he was doing quite well, and then Alexis Sanchez came in, and it kind of threw off the rhythm and that. Well, I mean, that's a part of football, innit? Don't get intimidated when other players come in. You just need to get your head down and do what it is that you do.
I can't lie. He really was playing well before Alexis Sanchez came in. As soon as Alexis Sanchez came in, it's like, it just stopped playing him. But
this is the thing, though, really.
I remember Robin. You know Robin, Iron Robin, right?
Yeah.
For Bayern Munich, right? People used to complain about why is he always injured. The thing with him is I remember him doing he was doing an interview, and he said once he feels a little niggle, it don't have to be nothing serious. Once it's something slight and he just feels uncomfortable with his movement, he's telling them, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. I don't care. He said, I'm not playing, because he say I rely on pace. And he say if I keep getting these knocks, it's affecting my career. So he's like, I'm not playing until I feel fully fit. And
that's the thing. You need to take responsibility in it. Some people, it's intuition. Like, nobody else can tell you how you feel. You know your body better than anyone. So you need to take those precautions at certain times. And look how long he went on to play for. It prolonged his career.
And
go on, Sim. Going back to this Martial thing and even playing well, you see if for example somebody is brought in your position to give you competition or to replace you, you then have to look back on your performances, evaluate yourself, and say, can I play any better? You need to be able to be in a position, and we don't have enough players who right now are looking at themselves and saying, I need to give the manager a reason to make sure that every single week I'm on the team sheet no matter what. And even if there is a situation where I might have to be out, it's going to be a hard decision. You need to do that. But I don't feel like we have a current group with the mentality that they want to be at the top level. They want to be the best of the best week in, week out.
That's true. I agree with what you say there. What you say here with CM, I agree with CM. And David Lee with the medical staff thing, yeah. We all know our medical staff is shit. Think about this. Players leave their clubs, no injury record. Soon as they join us, some of them coming in, bro, and the day they join us, fam, injured. Next week, injured. I'm not saying it's not the Premier League and all that. The Premier League is more physical and, but the injuries that we keep getting from players, and some players be forced back. We heard a lot about this on the Ollie. Players being forced back into play.
Arsenal used to have this, really. Arsenal used to have this under Wenger, and then they asked questions of their medical department.
Yeah, we had a lot of that. But what CM was saying about players not having the hunger, I think there's probably a few players in our team right now that is willing to put that extra in, because I watch Malacia every time he plays. But this guy didn't. I'm sure he didn't come in to be the starter.
Yeah, but
I
you
strongly
see,
believe coming to
you
the
see that
champion.
realist, that mentality change has come in with the new players.
Exactly. So we see
that's what
who
we need to
is
do.
putting in the extra and who is willing
Yeah,
to fight for this
yeah,
for their
yeah,
position.
yeah.
The
It's
rest of
not
them are
the
so
it's
comfortable
exactly. It's
and
not the
getting
guy
this
that's
amount
been
of
here for
money.
8 years on 150 grand a week. It's the
This
guy.
is
It's
what
the
we was
young man.
talking about with
It's the young man that's come in. He's on moderate wages. He's only had 2 full seasons of first team football in his career. So he's got everything to play for.
this is what me and Sam was talking about earlier with people like with the contracts that are expiring. Some of these players, Rush, I would trigger the extension, the 1 year.
There's 2 of them, bro. There's 2 of them that I wouldn't, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, I will trigger the extension for the 1 year.
Yeah.
And whilst that's triggered, I'm trying to get a move for you.
Yeah,
Get out, fam. Get out.
But with
Get
that,
out, get out,
with that,
bro.
when I was looking at the list, there was 2 players that it doesn't apply to because the wages are so ridiculous that if you extend it, you're not really protecting value because you can't get rid of him.
One day,
The De Gea one. De Gea is the highest paid goalkeeper in the world. He's on 375 grand a week. It makes absolutely no sense to exercise that option to take up another year. We've already talked about how he probably isn't the right fit now for the current manager, how his style of goalkeeping is on the decline, it's past it. Well, if that's the case, then there's no point in keeping him. You need to let him go. If you do extend it, I actually don't see how you sell him. You're not going to. And the same with Luke Shaw. 150 a week is too much for him. Just look at Alex Telles, bro. We can't even get rid of Alex Telles on a permanent.
Bro, Alex Telles' contract expires in 2025.
It's a madness. It's an absolute madness. With Luke Shaw, the only way that I would keep Luke Shaw on is if you offer him half the wages and see if he will accept that. If he doesn't, then he can kick rocks.
Let's think about it, right? These players are so comfortable getting these ridiculous amounts of money and not having to worry about their position.
Yeah.
So if
but
we
think
come
about
now
it, really.
and say, yo, I'm giving you 25% less, they're not taking that.
But the thing is, though, realist, where are they getting those wages anywhere else? They're not going to.
From nowhere. No one is
exactly.
Because that's why I told Sam earlier. I was like, if you want these wages, I'll give it to you. Incentives. You want 150K?
Listen,
brother, get some assists.
Listen, if I'm being honest, I think even 75 is kind of high for him, innit? With regards to what he's producing. But it's one of those where it's a 50% wage cut. You can't go lower than that in one go. But yeah, it's one of those. But if you look at it in the open market, I doubt anyone's paying him even that really. So yeah. So why not? Why not sit him down and his agent and be like, listen, you can stay here, but if you want to stay here, you either accept our terms or you kick rocks.
Yeah, these are the codes. This was the codes, yeah. A player like Edison Cavani, that's it. Doesn't even give a few minutes. Yeah, United just that earlier on. Paxton said it's going to take us like 5 years. Let's say we get new owners and that in, right? It's going to take like 5 years to at least get stuff reorganized and stadium and all this stuff. Me personally, I know fans, right? All fans want to win, but 5 years to me, short-term pain and long-term gain, bro.
For me, I want to win, but what I want is ultimately sustainable long-term success. Is what I want.
That's what I want. So that's why the short-term problem with the 5 years, I could take that.
Yeah. So I'm not on
stuff situated.
So
properly.
I'm not on just this random cup run or just 1 or 2 little victories here and there. So yeah. And with regards to the wage structure, we know it's an absolute mess. It was one of the things I was hoping would change over this summer. And, we've seen indications that it's not changing. Like, for example, the deal for Casemiro coming in on 300 grand a week. And really that adds pressure as well because he's a player for the here and now. So when we're talking about settling in period, he doesn't really have the luxury of a settling in period. He needs to get a move on.
Wait, who these quotes are from though, Next?
I believe it's Anthony Martial's quotes.
Oh, with this Cavani part.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think we all know what we get from Cavani, Even if Cavani gets 5 minutes, he gives you 100%. I don't agree with his.
He did first season.
Well, his second season was
Listen, the return of Ronaldo, man. I think that really threw him off. I think he took it as disrespect when he was stripped to the number 7 shirt. I don't think he was accepting it. I reckon had it happened earlier in the window, he probably would have requested a move. So there was a lot of madness going on there.
Bun Botox, yeah. Y'all know where I stand on that, brother, fam. I'm telling you, there's players that we know used to do certain things, and certain things happen at the club, and people are like, yeah, well, if that's the case, I ain't doing this then. I don't need to do this then. I don't need to do that because I'm comfortable, fam. They're comfortable. They don't need to do nothing.
We've heard these stories, though. We've heard these stories of the way that the club deals with certain things, whether it be getting rid of certain players, you know, simple things like changing shirts, all of this stuff there. The club don't operate with a level of class, but also organization to, you know, to be regarded as a top institute, especially in, you know, in an internal point of view, because things have changed, unfortunately, for the worse. And one time you could have relied on, you know, certain people to perform on the pitch, but for the last several years, that hasn't been the case. So now the club's getting exposed inside and out.
Yeah, you see, I see what you're saying here, see, and then Paxton, I agree with you, but if a new owner come in, he needs to get proper footballing people in charge, because he might find, yo, this is too much money or something like that, or he might like a certain player and say, yo, give him more money. So unless we get a director of football, a proper person in, brother, all this here, so it's just wishful thinking.
It pisses me off that we can all see it, but nobody at the club sees this. Like, even when you break it down via net spend, we've got the highest net spend because we don't sell players.
We
don't get anything back for our players, bro. We pay over the odds. We stick them on ridiculous wages, then struggle to get rid of them or price them out.
When they play crap, give them more contracts.
And then price them out of moves, and they just sit there and rot and walk away for free. It's ridiculous.
Every single time. Is this a recurring process, bro? It's like a cycle.
It's stupid. It's stupid. Nemanja Matic sat there for 2 years longer than he should have been. We could have got at least 10 million for him at a certain point. And then the net spend drops to 30 million instead of 40. Pogba, the last year, when you knew that when he made it abundantly clear that he had no intention of signing a new contract, why didn't you sell him? You could have got at least 40 million for him
the season before, yeah. And
we didn't want that. No, we don't. And listen, if you get 40 million on paper, obviously some people will say it's a loss, but then when you really break down the numbers, you're getting Pogba on a net spend of about 10 million a year for 5 years. You know, when you look at it like that, it's smart business. Would you pay 10 million a year for Pogba? I would.
Come on.
Yeah, but this is how you do smart business. But now we've lost everything. It's crazy.
And we're still losing.
And De Herrera, a player that should never have been allowed to be walked out for free.
Never should have been allowed.
Yeah. So it's mad. It's mad way of doing business.
And on this comment here, people, appreciate you all for coming by each and every time for the United Tropics podcast.
I'm blaming you for this one, really.
This person that just commented there is a fraud, and we'll have to do some investigation into this person. Yeah.
Same with Lingard.
Same with Lingard. Yeah,
could have got 20 million easy for Lingard, especially after that spell at West Ham. You saw the likes of Joe Willett going for 25 to Newcastle, and we couldn't get 15 to 20 for Lingard.
Yo, Kendo, let me tell you something. Yeah, our 100% record is in the Premier League, fam. We don't the Europa League ain't nothing to do with us, big man. We have 100% record in the Premier League, so don't try to come for us, big man. Our record is 100%. Since this show started, we haven't lost in the Premier League. So watch yourself, big man. Respect our record, yeah? Respect our record. Anyway, people. Nah, we ain't discussing the hour. We don't want to get the show going on too long, because I know Brush started to dip for another show as well. People, appreciate you for coming through. Yo, CM, love again for coming out, my guy. People, CM links in the description. Make sure to follow my guy up on all socials. Brush, appreciate you for coming through, my guy.
Anytime, bro.
Yo, big up the comments, everyone that come out and all the support the thing. Yo, appreciate your love, people. We out. Catch y'all on the next one. Hopefully we get these 3 points against this Walker Texas Ranger team.
Who shot the sheriff?
Who shot the sheriff? Bob Marley settings. Hopefully we sort them out. Big up, people. We out.
Come on.